Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my everyday routine for like a everyday glam look. This could be for when you're going out to a dinner or a date. This is just like my go-to for sure look if I don't know what else to do, but I still want to look cute. So without further ado, let's get started. So I already moisturized my face. It's always very, very important before you ever do your makeup. Make sure you have a clean face. Make sure you moisturize. Even if you have oily skin, like make sure you're putting on moisturizer. I have like normal to oily skin, so I like this moisturizer right here. This is the Glaw Volcasmic Moisturizer. It does have a matte finish too, and it smells amazing. So if you have oily skin, that would be a great option for you. Anyway, so now with my face already moisturized, I'm gonna just prime my skin before I put my foundation on. I'm gonna be going in with the Dr. Brandt Luminizer primer. I absolutely love this primer. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's never let me down, and I just feel like it leaves this very beautiful type natural finish. Even like for days where you're not gonna wear makeup, this is such a good primer to just give your skin a little bit of glow. So before I move on to foundation, I'm just gonna take some Versali Unicorn Essence and put a little bit on my skin just because I love how it sits on my skin. I love how it makes it smell. I love how it makes it look. And it gives me a little bit extra luminous. I don't think I said that right, but you understand what I meant, hopefully. Okay. Perfect. And now I'm going to be going in with the Hourglass stick. This is the Vanish stick. I love this foundation. It is so expensive for the amount of product you get, but it's so good and it leaves my skin looking really pretty, so I like it. I also use the shade Warm Ivory. It's more like, I would say, like a medium to full coverage foundation, and it definitely leaves like a natural finish. Always make sure that when you're putting on your foundation, you do put some on your neck. That way you don't look like a floating head, with your face being one color and your neck not matching. Oh, and I'm blending this in, or buffing this in, with the Sephora 88 brush. I love this brush for just making sure that you get a nice, evenly applied foundation. It's just so nice. It is kind of rough, but it leaves the best finish. Alright, perfect. So now I'm going to be going into the Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade Medium Honey. And I'm just going to be putting a little bit in my under eye and then everywhere else I want to highlight. And if I have a little bit of more pimples like I do here and a little bit here, then I'll put some there as well. This is such a good full coverage concealer, and I didn't even have to double dip to get my whole face, so that is amazing. A little bit does go a long way with this concealer. I'm just going to be blending it in using the Luxie 660 Precision Foundation brush. I'm going to be using the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. If you haven't tried this powder yet, you need to, because you're missing out. First, I'm going to go into the areas where I put my concealer with my Luxie 516 Duo Fiber Powder Brush. This is just because I feel like those areas need a little bit more powder because I want them to be a little extra bright. And for the rest of the face, I'm going to just lightly brush some powder using the Aesthetica P12 brush. Alright, perfect. So now I'm going to be using one of my favorite palettes. This is from Pure Cosmetics. This is their Dreamer Bronze and Brighten palette. I think that's what it's called. I absolutely love this for like any day. Like whenever I reach for something that I know is going to make me look bomb, I always reach for this palette. The highlighter is amazing. The blush is amazing. The bronzer is amazing. It's just all around an amazing palette, and I feel like Pure Cosmetics is a little underrated. Maybe not underrated, but just not talked about enough. So I'm first going to be going into the bronzer in the palette using my contour setting brush from iBeauty. I got this at Target like a few years ago, but I really like this brush. It's perfect for, to me, it's perfect for bronzing. Alright, so now I'm going to be going into the highlighter shade in the palette and just putting it on my cheekbones. Oh my gosh, I almost broke the palette. This is such a beautiful highlight. I don't know if you can see the glow. It is amazing. It's unreal. I love this highlighter so much. I'll vouch for it any day. And lastly, I'm going to be taking the blush and just putting it on the apples of my cheeks. I'm also a blush fanatic, so I like to put some like all over my face, but only lightly. I don't want to look too crazy. Alright, then now I'm going to do my brows quickly off camera and also prime my eyelids, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have my brows done, my eyelids are primed. To prime my eyelids, I used the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Cannelle. I love this for also cleaning up my brows. I'm almost breaking everything today. Oh my gosh. And then for my eyebrows, I used the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in number 4. I held it upside down. Here it is. So for the best part, I'm going to be, which is my eyes if you can guess, I'm going to be using a very classic palette. Kind of classic. This is the ABH Modern Renaissance palette. This is an all-time favorite. I love this palette so much, and it's one of my go-tos. Every time I reach for this palette, I know it's gonna work. I know I'm gonna be able to create a nice eye look. Like, it's just such a reliable palette. So the first color I'm gonna go into is Burnt Orange, and I'm gonna go in with my Morphe R39 brush. I'm just going to be taking the color and putting it all over my crease. It helps too when you're doing eyeshadows to try to look down. That way you're not like not seeing what you're doing by looking straight up and, you know, having your eyelid wide open or your eye wide open. When you look down, you still can put the color on your eyelid and see what you're doing. I did get some color on my lid, but that's okay. So, here's a tip for when you're doing your face makeup or your eye makeup. The lighter you hold the brush, the more control you have. Meaning that if you hold your brush lightly, obviously you're gonna put less color. but you know what, that's a good thing because it's always easier to put more color if you need it than to take it off once you put too much. So just always remember that tip. Alright, so now that the crease color is in, I'm going to go into the shade Real Girl with my Morphe M573 brush. This is like a tapered blending brush. I like this for precision work because it'll help blend in just in a very small area. Whereas the brush I used earlier, you can see is a lot wider on the top, making it easier to really get a color all over, like how I wanted it all over my crease. But for this color, I only want it here on the V, the outer V. So I'm just going to be making like a C shape with this color. And then I'm going to be taking a little more of that same color and just pushing it towards the middle of my lid. And I'm just gonna do my other eye really quick and then I will be right back to this eye. Before I continue, I am gonna put some powder underneath my eyes just to make it easier to wipe away any fallout because Anastasia palettes tend to have a little bit of fallout. Wonder if you can see all that powder flying everywhere. Anyways, back to my eyes. Alright, so back to this eye. I'm going to just cut my crease really quickly. So I'm going to be using the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer. And I'm going to be taking my Morphe M210 brush. Just tipping a little bit. This concealer is like a full coverage, so I don't really need a lot. Okay, and now I'm just going to be taking my BH Cosmetics number 6 brush. This is like a packing brush. I'm just going to be spraying it with some MAC Fix Plus. And then going into the shade Primavera and covering that entire area with Primavera. I love using brushes that are shaped like this because it just works so much. I didn't pick my nose, I got itchy. Because it just makes it so much easier to follow the shape of your lid. If you can see, I'm really not doing that much work. The brush is doing a lot of the work for me as far as keeping the shape that I want. Alright, and then I'm going to go back in with my M573, back in with the shade Real Girl and just blend it there in the middle so that the gradient looks a little bit more gradient. And then just to kick the look up a notch, I'm going to be using the Stila Glitter and Glow Liquid Shadows, and this one's going to be the shade Smoldering Satin. I'm going to put it on top of Primavera. Yes. Look how beautiful. Look how that stepped up that look. This is why this is like a semi-glam look, because that's cute. Alright, so I'm just going to take a smudging brush. I'm going to take the one that comes inside of the palette, instead of the Anastasia palette, in the shade Burnt Orange, and just put it on my lower lash line. And I'm going to take a smaller smudging brush. This is the number 8, I believe, by BH Cosmetics. And I'm going to go into Real Gert and put it as close to the lash line as possible. Just going toward the middle to meet with this color over here. Okay, and then off camera I'm going to put on some eyeliner and my mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so my eyeliner is on, my mascara is on, and to finish the eye look, I'm just going to be taking my Pure Palette again, and then another R36 brush, and just highlighting my inner corners and my brow bone. Oh my goodness. Look at this. You need this highlighter in your life. Yes. Alright. Now I'm just going to brush away the powder from earlier. I didn't put powder here because I don't always do that. Sometimes I just like it to be a little more wild. So yeah, today's one of those wild days. And then if you want to clean up the shadow a little bit and you don't want to do the concealer thing I told you about last video, you can just take any beauty sponge with an edge like this. This is the one from Morphe, or whatever you have with an edge like this. Take some loose powder and then just stamp it straight like that. And then when you wipe it away, it cleans up the look a little bit. Not as perfect as the concealer, but still a very, very good trick for cleaning up that look. Perfect. And the final step for this look is going to be lipstick. I'm going to be lining my lips first with the Kat Von D Everlasting Lip Liner in the shade OG Lolita. Before I forget, I am going to put on some lip treatment. This one is the Sun Bomb coconut, like chapstick type thing, whatever. And I'm only doing this because I'm actually going to use the Tarte lip paint in the shade Delish. This is my absolute favorite lipstick ever. Like, I love this color, it's so flattering, but the formula is extremely drying, so if you use it, I would suggest moisturizing your lips beforehand. And now that we have finished everything, I'm just going to set my face with my Morphe Setting Mist. This is the finished look. This is the perfect look, like I said earlier, for any night out, concert, dinner, first date, anything. It's so easy to do. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope to see you again soon. For those who came from my last video, thank you so much. And for those who are new, thank you for joining me. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. I hope you enjoyed this look. If you like it, like, comment, subscribe, please. Let me know if you want to see anything in future videos, any specific requests. Alright, so I'll see you guys later. Bye!